Hey there guys, SerenityXZero, your casual film gamer here once again with TGN, and I am bringing you my second entry in the TGN Idol 3 video process. And in this one, I kind of was thinking that I could talk about a topic that many of you might kind of ponder about, because it also has a question. What was the very first game genre that you got into? Like, what was the game genre that you played that brought you into the entire gaming community? I have my own, and as well as I'm sure all of you viewers out there watching this will have yours as well. And if, hey, by all means, put in the comment down below, and as well as with feedback and such, and I will greatly read it. And yeah, so as we know, there's been many genres within a genre. There's subgenres, which basically are what mainly we go by. Like, okay, that's action, but within action is like beat 'em up games, fighting games, maze games, pinball, and platformer. Instead of saying, oh, Mega Man is an action game, we mainly call it platforming, or same with Mario. So, it's the same with the main genres, but we don't consider them that, we go with their subgenres. Because it makes it easier to, basically, to indicate what it is. So, as I just said with this action, basically, I had to say back when I was younger, this was the actual main genre I got into first when I was younger, because back when I was younger, I played more of like Super Mario and Mega Man. I didn't get into RPGs, which in RPGs, or role playing, it has like action RPGs, MMORPGs such as WoW, and as well as tactical RPGs, which basically are more like you have to do like turn-based, something like that. You have to move your characters up and stuff like that. But basically in that was my next genre that came into big play. That is because I got more into like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. I didn't really get more until I think probably about like I was 5-6 years old. I got more into RPG and I found I really liked it. So that was mainly what I played. And then I got more into the strategy like games like RTS, real-time strategy, or this artillery, real-time tactics, turn-based tactics, strategies and tactics. It has a lot of different genres, subgenres that have the same name in it, as well as war games. Now, when I got into this, it was more like I was introduced to StarCraft, Final Fantasy Tactics, which is the tactical RPG side of Final Fantasy. And so that's basically, besides action adventure, which is the stealth and horror, which I never got into the horror series a lot. I kind of more about stealth. And if you heard that as my Xbox in the background. Lovely, eh? And as well as adventure, which is like graphical adventures, visual novel, gotta say it right there, it's already, and interactive novel. Now, what that means is the visual interactive. Nowadays, you have like, okay, let's take, I don't like the series, but let's take Dead Space, the Dead Space in between 1 and 2. I can't remember the name. Extraction, I think. No, that was it. Anyway, if you know what I mean, then you'll understand. Basically, it was a interactive novel. You're playing a game, but yet you have this novel playing out after you do each of the sections that are game-based. So therefore, you are still playing a game, but yet you're watching the story fold out without you actually taking part in the story unless you have to do certain choices. Now, me, I kind of was, I guess, somewhat I got into the adventure side. I have to say mine was more in the action adventure, because like Devil May Cry, stuff like that. I got into more of that stuff. Now, before the last one I got into, and before we get into the last one I got into, I got more, there's other categories with genres that really didn't have that many subcategories. And that is like, there's simulations, life simulations, and vehicle simulations. I never got into those because, well, except for like SimCity, that's like the only one I got into, because these simulations are more like you're simulating a life, like your life, your city, like you're actually driving a plane or something. That's what the simulation is supposed to be, which is, in my opinion, is very interesting. I like it a lot. Not that I like it a lot, but I like some of it a lot. Like SimCity, I've always played SimCity when I was younger, and that was fun. And to be honest, if I had it nowadays, I probably would play it, because that was really fun, and I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed destroying the town after I built it, because it was just funny, I guess, in a way, if that's what you want to put that way. But the other categories like music games, such as like, okay, Rock Band, DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, as it's known, or like Guitar Hero, stuff like that. it's fun. I mean, I would play it more, but I can't really. I don't have the means to get it, stuff like that. But nonetheless, it's a fun game. I used to play DDR, and I say used to because as of late I haven't been able to, because one, I don't have the game, nor do I have the time to go up to the mall that had it. I think it still has it, and play it again. So another one's like Party. Like, okay, for those on that play Nintendo games, Mario Party. That's a really famous, well-known party-going series. There's other ones that are kind of based around that, plus like I guess in the same category as a party game would be like board games, like Monopoly, Life. There's a lot of board games that, I mean, I used to play, before I played video games, I used to play a lot of board games. It's really fun, like, for the family wise, so in a way that goes with a party. Now, puzzle games. Now, these go with, like, these are like puzzle games for like Tetris, or you have to put certain pieces together. Nowadays, it's with all these genres I'm talking about, these kind of independent genres that ain't really talked about that much. They are more now so integrated into a lot of the games you play nowadays. You take Braid, for instance. Braid is a platformer game, but yet it brings in the puzzle aspect, as in to put the puzzles together to show you what you're collecting, like those puzzle pieces. Like this new one that came out for Xbox called Dead Block. I don't know if it might come on PS3 as well, but I only have an Xbox. At the end of each level, you have to play the guitar, and you have to hit certain notes in order to complete the level. Now, that brings in the music aspect. Yeah. And as well as a new one that just came out called Child of Eden that brings in music, because when you're shooting it was like a music to the background each time you shoot or something. So it's pretty interesting, I'll say that much. And as well as programming. Now, programming game genre I don't quite know that much about. I never really got into that thing. I think it's more like these text-based like games. Now, I could be wrong. If those of you out there that have played or do play programming type games, let me know like what games there are of that, and then I might go check it out so I can get more of an idea of what it is, so I'm not like, what is that? Now, another one is sports games. I'm not trying to harp on anyone. I'm about to say here, don't think me as harping on anyone that does play. I don't personally play sports games. I'm not a sports person. I don't like sports. I don't like watching it. I mean, I might watch it from time to time because there was nothing else on TV or there's just nothing else to do. But yet, I don't quite see myself playing that much sports games. I used to do it when I was younger with my cousin and all, because I really didn't have my opinion on if I like sports or not. But now I do, and really playing sports games to me is boring. Like, I can't get into it. That's just my opinion. Now, the last one I want to get into before we get into the last genre and all is card game based genres. Now, this is like, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! There's been card based ones in like Digimon series, or even other ones that have cards. And basically, it doesn't have to be just a pure card based series. You see some games like let's see, Neverland. I can't remember the name of the game, but basically it was a RTS game, not RTS. It was a strategy game, turn-based strategy game. But yet you had cards, and you use the cards in order to summon your monsters and help you in battle. So it's kind of like that. It's bringing more into that, and speaking of that, I'm liking how more nowadays you're seeing these cross genres. Say it right, Serenity. Cross genres of different kind of areas, because I mean it's bringing you more than just, oh, there's an action game. Oh, this is an action RPG game. Oh, this is it's trying to bring you more of a variety, I guess I could say. Now with that all done, now here is the as of late, I've gotten into this genre more often, and I'll say this right now, at first I did play a little bit of it, but more was like the campaigns. I didn't really play for multiplayer, I didn't play for other things, I just wanted to play it just for the campaign. Now that I got more into this kind of genre, then now I am more into playing the game more so, both multiplayer and bringing videos and stuff like that I can do now. And that is the shooter genre. And within that is like first-person shooters. multi-massive player, online, first-person shooters, light gun shooters, shoot 'em up, tactical shooters, railgun shooter, or rail shooter. I don't know why I said railgun. And third-person shooter games. Now, I like a lot of this because I play Call of Duty nowadays and all that stuff. I'm enjoying it, you know. Granted, yeah, there are the occasional things you get into when you rage, but like I said in my last video, I'm pretty sure I did, and if I didn't, I did say in a video on my channel that no matter what game you play, even if it's whether it's a online game, whether it's an actual campaign, there's gonna be a part you do rage, and if you don't rage, or if you can keep it under control, then hey, more power to you. That's good. But basically, I've got more into like the first-person shooters. I did at one time play first-person shooters on MMO FPS. Wow, that was kind of hard there. But I can't right now because I have no way to play it without it lagging like a crazy madman. So, and then I have played shoot 'em ups. I do like shoot 'em up games because I have played this like Time Crisis. That's a really famous series that is a shoot 'em up game that's both arcade and on consoles. I love playing that. It is a really fun genre, and really if I can get a PS3 down the line, or even with the PS2 ones, if I can get those again, I might do videos with those because those are fun, and not to mention they're not that long, but still, you can it's still action-packed, even with the short time that you have on it. Now, I can't say I know much about light gun shooter as well as tactical shooter. There might be a time I might have played one or the other, but I don't know what games are really based with that. If any of you do know, like with a lot of the other genres I've said this with, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know, and then I'll go check it out, and then if I remember the game, then I will know, because like I said, I don't know that much about it. Now, rail shooter, I do know what that is. It's kind of like the shoot 'em up in a way, but yet it's more you're on a set path from right, or you're going and something like that, and it might be the same thing as the shoot 'em up, but more on the console. And I could be wrong, or I could be right, I don't know. Either way. Now, third-person shooter, I do know I've been getting into some of that as well. Because the third person is not only going with shooters, it's going with, like, RPGs. Like, okay, let's take Fallout and the Elder Scrolls. It's first person, but you can also switch to a third-person view if you want to play third person. Now, I have played, especially on Oblivion when I had it, or played it at least. I have played it on a third-person perspective, and believe me, it's a lot. For me, because I got used to the first-person side first, it is not easy. But other than that, it's pretty good. So once again, I ask you this question: what was the first game genre that you got into? What was the main genre side, and as well was the subgenre? And if you have multiple ones, hey, put them all down. You don't need to put one down. If you have multiple, like I said, put them all down. I'll be glad to see them, as well as with the feedback. So with that, that's the end of this commentary in this video right here. So, I hope you enjoyed. So until next time, I'm SerenityXZero. See you guys then.